It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a bottle of Brouwerij Kees second anniversary beer, and it's a quadruple brewed with walnut. Doesn't that sound fantastic? It's been brewed with Cascade hops and pale ale, Munich and caramel malt. It's 11.3% ABV. There's a look at the label. And I noticed something when I picked this bottle up. I'm going to be very careful showing you this bottle cap, because take a look at what's in the bottom of this beer. Look at that sediment. Can you see it there? Look at that sediment. In places it's an inch thick. Now I don't know whether to kind of just throw it all in the glass and get a big wooden spoon and stir it all up, or be very careful. Let's see how we get on. Nice bit of smoke on the opening. I think careful as she goes. Let me be careful with it, and then we'll show you later on that sediment. So this beer was kindly sent to us by our channel sponsor, ImperialBeerClub.com. Imperial Beer Club is a club where you pay £42 a month and you get 10 beers, all 8% and above imperial strength. My goodness me. All imperial strength beers are at over 8% ABV, and it's £42 and you get 10 beers. You don't know what's coming in each month, so it's a little bit of a surprise. It's a nice little boost for when you've had your payday and you've got some really tidy beers to tuck into. I think it's a really good idea. Check the link in the description box of the video, ImperialBeerClub.com. Right, beer then. Yeah, it's a very dark barley wine, to be honest. It definitely looks like a barley wine. I wouldn't want to call it an imperial stout. I'd be really worried if they called this an imperial stout, because it is very, very dark, but it's also very, very thin. You can see some light there bleeding at the bottom of the glass, which suggests that it's a barley wine. Let's get the aroma on this 11.3% ABV beer brewed with walnuts. Yeah, it's got that good quality barley wine aroma of a little kick of alcohol. Lots of fruit, lots of kind of fig and plum and berry. Maybe a bit of blackcurrant or some raspberry, big full-on raspberry jam. That's what it smells like. When your grandma cooks you a sponge and she's got some jam on the stove, and she got warm jam on the stove, that's what the aroma is of this beer. It smells really good, and I'm going to be honest with you. I always look at a bottle of barley wine, and you know, because I get sent quite a bit of beer, and whenever I get a barley wine, I always kind of put it to the back. It's always IPAs. Of course, you review IPAs first anyway, because you want the hops fresh. But yeah, the barley wine always slips to the back, and I always leave it till last. And I think I do that kind of subconsciously, because when I actually open up a barley wine, a really good smelling barley wine, a really good tasting barley wine, if you get that style right, it can be fantastic. So let's see if this beer is indeed fantastic. It's really well made. You get a little bit of alcohol kick on the back end, but you're going to get that at 11.3%. It's very drinkable. It's a little bit flat. I would like a little bit more carbonation. yeah, it's a little bit flat. Wondering, it won't make a blind bit of difference. Wondering if we can, I'm really gonna get this. There's so much, it's still stuck to the bottom. Excuse me. I've never done this before, but I really want to get, look at that. Look, it's transformed the beer. Can you hear it? Can you hear it and see it? So it's almost, this beer was in two parts. Okay, it now looks like toffee or some kind of weird Starbucks coffee drink. But what a difference. Look, we got carbonation. Look, there we go. And we didn't have carbonation earlier. It was flat as a pancake. Never shook a beer up like that before. Let's dive in. Carbonation. Walnut. The nuttiness and the walnut flavour was all sucked down into the yeast. My goodness me, look at the carbonation now as we rock the beer back and forth. That is the weirdest experiment that I've ever accidentally done on the channel. That looks great. I mean, the carbonation looks like yogurt, toffee, milkshake stuff. But it's really not that bad. Actually, if you have a bottle of this, or you know somebody who has a bottle of this, and they've got the same situation as me, they've got a yeast cake on the bottom of the bottle, be brave and pour that yeast cake out. Because I think I was about to really slate the beer. I was really about to dig into it, and I thought, rather than dig into it, let's get the whole content out into the glass. And it has improved it no end. The nuttiness, the walnut flavour mixes nicely with the carbonation, which we've somehow added from a bit of yeast cake in the bottom of a bottle. Wow. Wow, it's transformed the beer. I would have said before the yeast, I would have probably given it a 2 out of 10. With all of that yeast added, it's given it more body, depth, carbonation, flavour, nuttiness, walnuttiness. That is probably the craziest beer review I think we've ever done. The beer looks crazy. That is the craziest beer I think we've ever reviewed on the channel. Look at it. I mean, look, I'm so impressed with that carbonation because there was nothing before. Absolutely nothing. That is amazing. So it's gone from being a 2 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10 from Reload Craft Beer. What a stunning, stunning beer. I'm thinking of a title for this video now. An ideal title of what to call this. If I just called it Brouwerij Kees 2nd anniversary beer, people may not kind of tune in. But if I call it Weird Yeast Beer Experiment, then maybe we'll get some more views of the video. I'm not using it as clickbait. I just want people to see what just happened in this beer review. Amazing. Thanks to Imperial Beer Club for sending. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer reviews. give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! And cheers. Okay. Realised the beer has thrown me a little bit. That whole kind of excitement stage by adding yeast into the glass of beer. We introduced the beer as a quad, and I've been talking about it in kind of, I think I've called it a barley wine maybe once or twice. I just want to say it's not a barley wine. It's a quad. It's a quad. I got some live viewers behind on Periscope watching this, and a couple of them, my beady-eyed Periscope viewers, noticed that I was calling it a barley wine at the end. So this is a quad, not a barley wine. Cheers.